We're going to talk about things that nobody else will. Success leaves clues. And if you're going to make the same mistakes you made when you were a teenager, then you if you want to get good at something, you've got to sharpen your sword. We're going to smash this. I'd like to say a big, massive thank you to Luso Stone for sponsoring this episode of the Little Bricks Podcast. Thank you. Hello, welcome to the Little Bricks Podcast with myself, Lee Flanagan. We've got a very special guest on today. Good friend of mine, Middlesbrough legend, England International, Stewart Downing. Hi, Stu.
Hi, mate.
How are you?
Very good, yeah, you?
Good, very well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Means a lot to me. As with John Woodgate, when he come on, easiest person to book in ever. One phone call come down, so I'm very grateful for you giving up your time. Thanks, mate.
No problem.
So, tell us about your journey, mate. How did you start your journey into professional football, being England International, having a wonderful career?
I started 8 or 9 year old, went to Martin Juniors. So I sort of stayed there for a couple of years, and then I went to Longlands a little bit, played with a couple of my mates, and then I went to a team called Steven Red Star, which is out the area really. Normally you stay local, but I mean, I think my dad spoke to someone and they invited me to go up and play with them, and I don't know how it really came about. It was a bit strange, but I ended up playing there for 2 or 3 years, and then I signed schoolboy forms at 14 to go in professional at 16. So
yeah, super.
Yeah.
So going to see in Red Star, which we played against them in like local Northern League football.
Yeah.
Big thing for footballers is going out your comfort zone, new dressing room, new different types of lads.
Yeah.
I guess you were playing different leagues then as well.
Yeah.
Is that a big part of your development there?
Yeah, I think so. I think because I was quite quiet and shy, and I normally didn't like change. But I went to Martin, I enjoyed it for that many years. But then when I got an invite, I sort of went, yeah, I'll go, which is different for me really. Normally I'd say, no, I'll stay because I'm happy and I know all my friends. But I sort of went there and really enjoyed it. It was really good. We had some good players. We had a really good team, and the team was from all over really. We had like David Murphy's from Hartlepool. Remember Paul Kitson's brother, Michael Kitson, he played. He was from up Newcastle way, so we were all sort of scattered. So that probably helped as well because they're in a similar sort of boat to me. But it was different, yeah. But it was good.
Superb. You said you were a shy kid.
Yeah.
Now, were you the same on the pitch, or did you sort of just come in your own? Were you comfortable on the pitch?
Yeah, I was comfortable. Football was like a release. You go on the pitch and you're just playing, and and then off it I'd just go quiet and shy, and some people don't know what to say. I'm like introvert sort of thing. I just, I found it around people talk, and as you get older, you get better at that, don't you? Like stuff like this, but I didn't really feel comfortable on that side of stuff. But I think once you put me on the football pitch, it was different. I felt confident.
Coming your own a bit.
Yeah.
So obviously you were a top player. I think you played for England schoolboys.
No, I didn't play at the schoolboys. No, didn't play schoolboys. It was always because I was really little. When he needs to grow a little bit, he needs to be a bit stronger, and it always had to be working on something. So I didn't play any of them schoolboys. The first time I got picked was England 16s, I think.
What was that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
You've had some clubs after them. Why was it Middlesbrough? Was that the only club, or?
Yeah, I trained at a few different clubs. Actually trained at Man United. It was at the McEwen Centre in Sunderland. Yeah. I went up there. I used to do training up there, and then I sort of was getting scattered around a little bit. I went to Middlesbrough and trained there, but I never signed to anyone. My dad didn't want me to sign to anyone because once you sign, then you stop your school football, your county. And my dad said he just wanted me to sort of be a street footballer, learn with your mates, and well, looking back, it was good for me because I was playing a lot of football, learning loads. Whereas sometimes you can sign, and then get to 14, get released, and then you've missed out on all that your memories with your friends really. So, and then I was going to Chelsea in the holidays, school holidays, and mum and dad and stuff going down there. And it was a decision at 15 when I just was leaving school. The last couple of months, it was who do you want? You got Middlesbrough or Chelsea, and looking back, I obviously made a good decision to sign for Middlesbrough, but it was close. The only thing that stopped me probably going to Chelsea was I'd have been homesick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Was it making calls and decisions in business, in life? I struggle with them because my people pleaser. Was it hard for you to sort of some lads just say, no, I'm just doing what's best for me, or was it quite a turmoil deciding for you?
I look back now and I was a bit quite laid back about it. I was like, oh well, I'll have a think about it. And you're thinking this is like a life-changing decision. You got to London to live on your own with a family, because I'd have had to be put in digs, and like I said, I was staying with a lad called Lenny Pidgley, who made a career in the game. But I was staying with his family every time, and it was unbelievable. It was great. But every time I got to the end of that 2 or 3 weeks, I'm ready for home.
Yeah.
And then when I thought of things like that, thinking that I'm going to be there for the whole year. I might see my mum and dad, my sisters growing up, and my family, and I was thinking this is a big decision, and do I go there 2 or 3 years and then I'm not good enough and they let me go?
Yeah.
You have doubts, and then I just thought, I've made the right decision. I want to go to Middlesbrough. I'm at home, And like I say, I can always move on when I get older in life.
Course, yeah, definitely. So he goes to Middlesbrough. Who was the manager at the time?
Brian Robson.
Right.
It was. Looking back, I just wanted to stay at Middlesbrough, but looking at the pathway, it was blocked really, because he favoured experienced players, if you want to say, internationals, ex-internationals. Time we were there, it was like Gaza, Gary Pallister, all these type of players. We were never really going to get in, and we sort of had a load of players in the reserves who were struggling to get in. Youth teams just overflowing, and it was like, until Steve McLaren came in, then the tables turned. There was a massive clear out, and then we sort of jumped really quick from under 17s football straight into the reserves stroke first team. Missed 19s out really. Played a couple of games, but and all the lads in reserves were sort of out, sold on loan. The first team sort of got. He'd done a really good job with Steve McLaren in the first 18 months, 2 years. If you look back, there was a massive overhaul of players, but for the better.
Superb. So McLaren come in, and he's had a lot of stick for a number of reasons, but he come from Man United. He was Ferguson's right hand man. Yeah. Was he a good coach? What was he like to work with?
Very, very good coach. For me, he was great, but I know he struggled with a lot of experienced players. Maybe that was leaving them out, telling them that wanted, which is the difficult conversation to have. I didn't have that lead because I was a young player who wanted a chance. I got it. He put me in the team generally, and I played a lot for him. He even picked me for England. Don't get me wrong, I had my ups and downs with him like every player, but we always had a sort of good relationship. I was just a young player wanting a chance, and he gave me it, and I think he had confidence in me. Yeah.
At Borough, who was like the older pros for you when you were coming the first team?
It would have been Gareth, was one of the first signings. Paul Ince, the late Ugo Egiog, Colin Cooper, sort of like they're the lads who sort of stayed as I got in the team as well, if you know what I mean. And then, obviously Ugo and Gareth stayed the longer part, but Ince and them got moved out, and but them were two really good pros. Ugo and Gareth were like really good lads as well. You could talk to them. I just felt it was as we got into the first team, the people become better, the players helping. I didn't think we had that. Maybe in the Robsons era, we weren't that close to them. We were sort of like, say, they were in the first team, we were in the youth team. But once I started drifting in that first team and get a sniff at it, then I met some really good people along with it. Mark Crosley was another one, top fella, and that really helped us.
Well, but in business, I think there's so much transferable from business to life to sport. I believe in getting good mentors who show you the ropes and show you the way to conduct yourself and live your life, etc. You've mentioned some people there who were like clearly brilliant footballers, but seem like good characters as well. Is that a good part of your development there?
Yeah, you start to watch people, I think. Until I got an injury late 2021, bad knee injury, which is obviously why I had to retire, I know many years after, but I had to sort of look after myself because I played as if I don't need a stretch, I don't need to do that. I'm a 19-year-old, I'm spring chicken, no weight on me, I didn't have to eat, I could eat what I wanted. Sort of, because I was dead thinly, I had to fill out, and then I just used to watch Gareth and them in the gym do all these stretching and things he was doing, like to get himself ready for training. I was like, what is he doing? But then when I had that injury, I had to do that. So I was doing it from a young age, really, only because of an injury, following him. I used to just watch him. Probably didn't know I was doing it, but just how he conducted himself around people. He was really good with people. Walking into a place and he had like an aura about him, but being really quiet, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Didn't have to say a lot when everyone was like, well, the captain's here, Gareth's here. And he just had that presence, but really, really approachable. And I used to watch him every day, but probably he didn't know I was doing it.
Yeah, good. It's a great way to learn, isn't it? If you're watching, and I think success leaves clues, mate, in life. So if you watch successful, good, decent people, you're going to pick things up, aren't you? Monkey see, monkey do. Could you tell you're going to manage England? It would be that you go at that level?
I knew he'd manage. Not the England level, no. I think you'd have to say that's a job for a 56-year-old man. I thought he had to have a career, especially after when he left Middlesbrough and got sacked. No one could have envisaged that he was going to be an England manager within 10 years after that, because you sort of go back to League One, League Two, work your way up again. But he's very well thought of in football. He had good ideas. He got thrown into a job you think about was unbelievable how he did, really. I know he got relegated the last season, but a lot of people didn't help him, I didn't think. But he had good values, good how he wanted to play, how he was with people. You ask anyone, I've never heard anyone say one bad word about him in football, not one. And he might have fell out with a few people along the way, but he was just a good fella, good to play for, and I really liked him.
God bless, that's good. Just playing for Middlesbrough, what was the pressure of that like? Playing for your hometown club, because you played in the European final as well.
Yeah. First couple of years later, it was like I was still like a fan. It was weird. So I played, and because the club was starting to build and do well, we saw it on the crest of a wave, and it was like, it's just easy sort of thing. We're doing well. Fans like me. I'm doing all right. And then I only found it more pressure. Like say the second time I came back, because obviously things happened with relationship I had with the manager. It wasn't going well, the club, and I felt like because I was a local lad, a lot of pressure was coming on, and I didn't really feel that in the first spell. It was more I was on a crest of a wave, and my career was starting to build. But yeah, I thought the second one was more pressure because there was a lot more eyes in there, and a lot more people saying things. But when you're a young player, you don't think of things like that.
Yeah. So the first time, the relationship with the fans then in your hometown was a little bit different than the second time, because you're coming back as an England international, Premiership footballer, being for big moves, stuff like that. I mean,
maybe with that, then what happened in my career there?
Yeah.
And I always say to people that I think they thought they were getting the player that I was 24. I came back at 31, 32. I was never going to be the same player. I was a total different player. If they'd watched me 6, 7 years, I'd changed my game, the way I played. A lot of players have to do that. They adapt as they get older. Because I had injuries. So I don't know, maybe they thought they were getting this speedy, fast winger when I was 19, which I wasn't that player anymore. I was a midfield player, sort of a passer, a mover, and like I said, maybe they didn't like that player, I don't know.
Was that a conscious decision to sort of, I think in life, you adapt or die. Did you adapt with time consciously? Was it something that you actually were sort of doing with intent to sort of change your game and the way you played?
I knew because of the way I played, I'd get to 30 and you sort of slow down, people work it out, and you have to sort of, a game adapts as you get older. Like Ryan Giggs was a hero of mine growing up, and I used to watch him and think, he went into midfield, and I was thinking, I could maybe play in midfield. And it wasn't until, I think it was Big Sam sat me down and said, when I get my settled team and the way I want to play, you'll end up a midfield player by the time I get this right, because it might take me a year or two. And I went, midfield, I've not played there in my life. You'll be a midfield player because you can pass, you can move, you can run, or like a number 10 type of player. And then he sort of evolved me into that player, and then I absolutely loved it. And I thought, my days as a winger are over. When I came back to Middlesbrough, I wanted to be that player, but the manager had other ideas, thought I was still a winger on up and down. I was 33, 30. That's a young man's game, up and down, and the way we played, it was difficult. And I wanted to play in the centre or centre midfield, but he was stuck on the players he wanted there. So it was difficult at times, but I suppose you have to do what the manager tells you, don't you?
Definitely, yeah. We'll talk about Middlesbrough first, because it can be quite a goldfish bowl, and it's the best town in the world with the best people in the world.
Yeah.
But when you were playing, and when Woody played, for example, because they're the most successful players we've had, some of the stuff I had was just fucking embarrassing, ridiculous. Like the big drinkers, the this, the doing that, and it was like, you found some of the stuff just comical. Was it quite hurtful in your family with some of the stupid rumours that you'd hear?
Yeah, I think it was more my family. I think I know goes with the telly.
Yeah.
The town, it's Chinese whispers in it, and then you sort of believe it. I mean, even the second spell when they came back, everyone thought I fell out with the manager, which I did, but a lot of other people did. But they sort of like, it just what ducks back to me. It is hurtful because your family are watching, but to me, I know what goes with it, and I hear, oh, well, he was eating, he's doing this, but you can't play the longevity we have in our careers without doing things right. I went for a pint, no problem. I'll go over a pint at the right times. Yeah. Go out at the right times.
Yeah,
do whatever. But I did it within. When I was allowed to. All them years I sacrificed as a younger player when I didn't go out and do this and stayed in, and so you have to. You're only human. You have to enjoy yourself, don't you? You have to go out. Well, obviously the rumours are ridiculous what people say, but it never. It did when I was younger, but once I left and gone to other clubs and sort of got older and wiser, it comes with the territory, so it never really bothered me.
Yeah, good. Massive mental strength there. What was your best memory at Middlesbrough as a player?
I think it'd have to be the UEFA Cup run. I think just everyone, the town was buzzing.
Was it?
I've been to a couple of games after that, and it was when I'd left and it was a bit flat and the crowd wasn't great.
Yeah.
I just felt a bit sad because I wish I was a fan watching them UEFA nights. Even though I was playing, it would have been amazing being in that stand. Because everyone tells me the memories. Still got videos from 15 years ago. It's like the run we went on was unbelievable. The teams we beat, but we had a belief that we could probably beat everyone. It was weird, really, because we shouldn't have had that belief. We were an all right, decent team, but we weren't. Beating Lazios and Romas. That was on another level, but we sort of blew them away and sort of on a crest of a wave. And I think that 2 years period we had in European nights, you sort of won't get them back, I don't think, for many moons, but we sort of took it for granted. Yeah,
of course. Crest of a wave. So in business, in life, I genuinely think that momentum, big mo we call it, is such a powerful thing. And it's always with you. You're either got it really bad and you just can't get nothing right, or if it's with you, like teams that come up and just fly through the leagues, even when they're not that good, they've got momentum behind them. It's important in life, isn't it?
Yeah, momentum, everything. I think everything just, like I say, when you win and you think you can't lose, when you lose and you think, how are we going to get the next one? And then even in your life, if you're getting a bit of a rut, you think, how am I getting out of this? And sort of drifts in it, and then sometimes you're on a high and you're thinking, I feel invincible, I'm fit, it is. Momentum's massive, I think, in any probably job, any walk of life, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's momentum and sort of keeping your high spirits, because you get plenty of down days, isn't it? So you should enjoy them high days, really.
Definitely, yeah. So leaving Middlesbrough, you went on to
Aston Villa.
Yeah. O'Neill, was it?
Martin O'Neill, yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, it was good, really good. I mean, I signed injured. I couldn't play for the first 8 months, which is strange, really. I broke my foot against Aston Villa, and I'd gone there, and he said to me, like, I'm not going to speak to you for 7-8 months. You're no good to me at the minute until you're fit. And I thought, this is more. Just get me back home.
Yeah.
It's back to Middlesbrough. But the reason I did go to Villa is because I'd lived, like you said, the Goldfish Bowl. I was single on my own then. I wanted to change. I wanted to sort of grow up, go out, see what it's like. Like I said, I'd gone to England camps and they would tell me how great it is with clubs and what to do and what there's. Sort of just get out of the bubble, you know what I mean? Go and live my own life, sort of grow up. And I just thought the time was good. I was 24, 25. Middlesbrough got relegated, and it was time for sort of a change, and it was, honestly, it was unbelievable 2 years.
Was it, yeah?
It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
So was you played on the right, though, didn't you? Ashley Young
on the left.
Just swap over.
Just swap. He was very Brian Clough-esque. People will tell you his stories, and he was very off the cuff, but his man management was unbelievable.
Was it?
Yeah, unbelievable of people, and he used to he didn't say a lot through the week, and then on a match day he'd tell you the best player in the world, but then he'd probably tell Ashley Young the same thing. He'd give you days off, get yourself back home, go and see your family, and you're just thinking, looking back, he was sort of like a manager psychologist. He knew when to get what to say at the right time, get the best out of people, and until I look back now, I didn't realise how really good he was.
Superb. Then you got to Liverpool, and a big move.
Yeah, Liverpool happened because obviously Martin left, and then Gerrard Houllier came in, and he took a turn for the worse. He got ill, didn't he? And we had a sort of struggling season. Players were starting to get sold. I think there was financial problems. And I could tell you before about timing, a bit of luck. I'd sort of good season, Liverpool watching me, and then it was literally on in the summer they wanted to buy me, but Villa didn't want to sell me, so I come to a bit of a problem really. And the new manager came, Alex McLeish, and I said, listen, this is a dream move for me. I have to go. I'm 27. Sort of, I might not take this very well if you block this move, because like, how many chances do you get to go to clubs like that?
Liverpool,
and to be fair, he was all right in the end. He let me go, and then like I said, I spoke to Kenny, and he was class. He was absolutely on. He's same as Martin, different type of people, but man management, good with people. Like you say, he was an absolute legend. Sort of had the biggest aura I've ever seen of a person. He walked in the room, but he didn't have any like arrogance about him, no airs and grace. He just take the piss out of you every day. And
would he?
Yeah, he's just like one of the lads. But then when the football came, he was serious and he knew what he wanted. He wanted to win, but he was like one of the good people. Yeah.
So Liverpool, Middlesbrough, obviously we're Borough lads, Borough fans, but Liverpool's Liverpool. The Kop, it's part of our heritage as kids born in the 80s and 90s, to see just what greatness was. What's it like playing there? What's it like playing for that club and the Kop? And
different, yeah. I think the only difference is with Middlesbrough, you could like sort of draw a couple of games, maybe lose one, and because we were that type of team where we finished top 10, we were good. Villa's similar, maybe top 6, good. Liverpool was like, a draw's not good enough. We can't draw there. We have to win here. Everything was win, and I found straight away the mentality is we have to win. Everywhere we went in the world, I remember going pre-season, we went to Thailand, and we sort of landed on the tarmac, and it was like the full tarmac was full of fans, and I was like, this is what's going on here. And they said, no, we're probably more well liked abroad than we are home, fans wise. Yeah, there's worldwide, and everywhere I went on holiday, anywhere, it was just Liverpool fans everywhere. So I have a Man United Liverpool, and now it's City, but really it's Man United Liverpool, and I just couldn't believe like the intensity of it.
Yeah,
it was crazy. And like the first year was a bit up and down. We weren't great as a team. We got a cup finals and won one, but that's the biggest thing I learned is the scrutiny. You just couldn't, if you didn't win, you couldn't leave your house, sort of thing.
Yeah. So he goes into Liverpool. Was it Henderson and Carroll all signed at a similar time?
Henderson signed the same window as me.
Did he?
Andy Carroll got signed 6 months before. So Torres left in the January, and they signed Suarez and Carroll. Yeah. Then 6 months later, me and Jordan signed in that summer. So we signed together. I was 27, he would have been about 19, 20.
Brilliant, Did you see him going on with the career like he's done brilliant, hasn't he?
Oh, he's done brilliant. He always had an inner belief, I think, a strength. For a young lad, was I thought quite interesting really, because he suffered really the first 2 years. Played right wing, form was up and down. He even admits it himself. He thought he was going to be out the door. Brendan Rodgers didn't really fancy him. No. Then I think through his hard work and just sheer will not to leave and stuff like that, just kept going. Brendan started to trust him a little bit, put him in. You got to think he started at 19, he was still a boy. From 23, 24, he started to grow, fill out. understand the game a little bit better, because he used to just run around a lot, and then Brendan sort of tactically made him better, and then he just got better and better, and then he turned into a captain, leading that club. I watch him now, you sort of like feel a bit proud, don't you? Like you watch someone and you think, oh, he struggled, but fair play to him, he's come through, and not good on him.
We all like someone who's been through adversity and done well for themselves, and I mean, he lifted the Champions League.
I know, and he was getting pelted.
Was he
19, 20-year-old, a big club like Liverpool, he's not good enough, they paid too much for him. I don't know what he was thinking in his mind. A 20-year-old lad, he used to overthink things as a young player. Like if he lost, he wouldn't speak and stuff. But I think as he's got older, like I say, he's got kids in that now, a wife. He's probably just learned to deal with it better. And you look at him now, he's chalk and cheese.
Good person.
Really good lad. Really good. Like, he'll admit he was really intense when he was younger. If he lost, he used to overthink everything. But you would when you're at a big club, you're 19, 20. The pressure that comes with that, it's unbelievable, really. But I think he's just dealt with it. He's got better, and like I say, he's turned him into a really good leader.
Yeah, so a couple of things there for me. Listen, for life, people who are struggling, for business and for sport, mental strength's important. Being able to go through adversity and come out the other end a better person, isn't it? And you said about good players there. They seem to be good people. Is there a pattern of that as well? The higher you go, the nicer the people are and stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of questions I get asked is, oh, what is he like? Oh, I bet he's a bit mad. I bet he's this. I bet he's big town or whatever. I was like, no, they're just normal, good lads. And generally, the top lads, they're very driven. They know what they want, and they'll train properly, eat properly. You know, they do everything right, and that's why they're at the top of the game.
Yeah.
Even the lads who are sort of called, I've heard a lot of good players who are unbelievable, but don't make it because they won't make them sacrifices. And you say like a Jordan Henderson, who probably didn't have a talent of someone else who's lost the way, but he's driven. Yeah, he wanted to be a player. He wanted to captain Liverpool, and you've got to give him credit because he's stuck at it. Didn't listen to all the stuff behind. He's not good enough. He's not going to be this or that. So yeah, like I say, they generally have the same trends. You know, they know what they want, and like I say, that they don't stop until they're knocking people out of the way. Really, until they get there. They're obsessed. Yeah,
obsessed with it.
Obsessed.
You got to be obsessed in everything you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said sacrifice 3 times, so it's clearly been a big part of your life as well, Stu.
Sacrifice is like, this is what I'm saying when people say, oh, years ago we were out and we were doing this. Yeah, I had nights out and stuff like that, but I was obsessed with having a career because all I knew really was football. I wasn't very good at anything else because I never tried anything else. So I was thinking, I don't want to go and work, whatever, a job that I don't enjoy or don't like. And I wasn't very good qualification-wise. So I'm thinking, I'm going to do this job. Yeah. No matter what league or level it is, this is what I want to do. And like I say, I sacrifice things and even stuff like England trips. I go away 2-3 weeks at a time. And I know a lot of people didn't like it, didn't enjoy it. It wasn't very enjoyable at times, but you got to do it. Because if you want to play for your England, you've got to give up that time, 3 weeks away. And so I think that's the biggest thing is missing out on a lot of things. But
so sacrificing mental strength to be able to come through shit times and come out the other end more experienced, tougher. You learn from their experiences. We always win and learn. Yeah. Did you play with lads then as kids and at the youth team who were maybe more talented than players you played with at the top level? But the top, some lads who got, like say about John Henderson, some lads were really, really talented but just never made it to the top level for whatever reason.
Yeah, I remember a lad we had him at Middlesbrough. Lads, he was a big thing. Carlos Marinelli, I always remember him. Watching him train, I was like, wow, this kid is 17, he's ridiculous. He was taking the mick out of senior professionals, but he didn't have an attitude. He didn't want to run, didn't want to train properly, sulky, moody. Yeah. And I remember my dad used to talk all the time. I said, this kid's unbelievable. He said he will not make it at Middlesbrough. And my dad used to admit he was sulking around, throwing his arms in the air. He went, Steve McLaren, people ain't going to put up with that. They want hard working people, good people. And to be fair, I'm not saying he was a bad person, but he didn't have the mentality or the, to work hard as a team player to get through. And I look at him and think, I don't even know where he is now. His talent, he should have been playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. But good. Like I say, I don't even know where he is now because his attitude or his commitment wasn't there. And then, like you said, you get someone like a Jordan Henderson who didn't have his talent, but he had all the belief, all that work ethic, attitude, everything that you have to have. And look where he is now. Definitely.
So we're on about this, you want me to chat to me, Woody talked about, Roy Keane says a lot about characters, the right character. Yeah. At work, I work with Daz Rolson, a mutual friend of ours, Nate Steele, good friend of yours. You're thinking like, I work with proper characters who have them in the trenches or having a shit time, and it's going to happen, isn't it? Yeah. And I want them with me. Yeah. Is it important to have, really strong characters around you?
Yeah, I think your family's important, isn't it? I think the thing I've found in my career is when you're younger, you listen to everything, don't you? Papers or rumours, and it sort of drags you down. You're thinking, well, whatever I do anyway is not right. So you listen to the people who care, because they're the who will tell you straight. So if I had a bad game, I'd know, because Dad would not blatantly say you had a bad game. I'd know he'd give me that look like you could have done that better or this better. If you get a disappointing off your dad or your mum, don't you think, oh, that hurt. That hurt a little bit, whereas you sort of don't care about what anyone else says. Listen to them people around you, because they're the ones who care and they're the ones who tell you the truth. The others are just listening on rumours and whispers and trying to drag people down. That's what people do, isn't it? They get off on negativity, really.
Yeah.
So I just think, listen to the people around you. Get strong characters. The good people. Even in dressing rooms, you'll see managers who will sign people on their character, not necessarily their ability, their character, because they think they might have ability, but if we're going in a tough run here, is he going to crumble? I need leaders and character. And that's what you, Roy Keane. Where's the leaders? Where's the characters? It's alright when the sun's out and you're winning 3-0. Where's it when we're getting beat 3-0 and pissing down rain? So I think it's a big thing in your life and in football, really.
Yeah, you've got some really good friends around. You've got some mutual friends who are good, decent people who you just want the lads to them out, they take the piss out, you have a crack with them, and that's important to keep you grounded as well.
Yeah, because you like when you meet people and they pretend you're your mates. They're not your mates. They're there to hang on or whatever, and you sort of let them drift away. But your real mates who travel around the country, watch you fly abroad, and go to World Cups or wherever they're going, and European games, they'll go and watch you because they're mates. Might have a lot of money on them, but spend every last dime on going to watch you play because you're their mate. That's why I think they're your truly good friends.
Yeah,
like you said, you can go in the pub and they'll take the piss out of you, or wherever you're going, but them people who think you're friends won't do that because they're there for a reason. They don't want to upset you or whatever, but they sort of drift, I think.
Yeah. So about World Cups, the 2006 World Cup you went to?
Yeah.
So it was quite a circus, wasn't it? With like Posh Spice and Cheryl Cole, but the team. If you look at that team now, mate,
ridiculous.
What was training like? What was and Rooney, was that Rooney's? Was that his World Cup? Was it? Or?
He was the one when he got sent off. The Euros before, he was unbelievable. Wasn't he? He got injured, but even in that one, the squad was. I know a lot partying, whatever, doing the girls and whatever, but we were literally in the top of. Think of Rosebery Top, and we were at the top of that in a hotel, in the middle of nowhere, doing nothing, and it was like hard 3 weeks. Don't really, we were like pool tables and stuff like that, but couldn't see people or anything like that. It was hard, and. But that squad was unbelievable. Was it? Oh man, it was like, look at the names on paper. It sort of picked itself. Had the odd subs. Like I say, we were only young. Get on a couple of times, but Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard, Joe Cole, Rooney, Owen, Neville. You can go right through. It was like probably all in their peak prime. Yeah, they were. All in one team, but they just didn't gel together. No. And they'll say it. You've interviews over the years. We just weren't as close as a team. Probably because they're all trying to be the best. It doesn't work, and that's what I'm saying about characters. And you need a good team and good. And we probably needed, that's probably a stronger manager. Ericsson was just sort of laid back and let it go. And I think, because we always got to a certain point where I think this is crunch time and would fail. And even making tough decisions, taking people off, was he scared to do that? You don't know, but on paper that team was ridiculous.
So you had the argument with them, Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard from the same squad. Yeah. I wouldn't put you on the spot and say the best one. I wouldn't, because I think you're friends with the three.
I'll tell you the best one. Gerrard was the best one.
Really?
Yeah, Gerrard was the best one. And I never, Scholes left the squad before I got in.
Did he?
People tell me like he was obviously unbelievable. Yeah. But I look at so you think, could Paul Scholes play right back, right wing, centre mid, number 10 up front? You could play Gerrard anywhere and he'd be 9 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, these were world class players. I feel like I'm judging them down, but Lampard knew what his game was. Yeah. Very fit lad, up and down, get in the box, score goals. Look at the teams he played in. Yeah. Yeah. Scholes, the teams, Gerrard sometimes played in Liverpool teams that weren't very good, and I was in one of them. So it was like he stayed committed to that club. He could have went to Real Madrid. Everyone was chasing him. Yeah. But he stayed loyal to Liverpool. But if you ask me, the best player was influential. I don't think they could have done the things that he did. Really? Could they have done what he did then in Champions League for Liverpool in that final? No. They weren't them title players. No. He like sort of was very quiet. Sort of led the way he played. Didn't shout a lot. Didn't say a lot. But he had an aura about him, and like you think, he's a proper player. But did everything quiet.
Was you met him?
Yeah, so I speak to him now and again. I've seen him,
Nice lad,
down to earth. Like I say, he lost his head a few times. I've seen it and it's quite scary, but he was a bit like a Southgate type. Led the way he played, good with people, very quiet. But like you say, you knew on his 9 out of 10.
Rooney at that time, what was he like as a player?
Rooney was unbelievable.
Was he?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Because at that time, it was like Ronaldo wasn't Ronaldo then, was he? No. And Rooney was a similar level, is it fair to say?
Yeah, similar, if not probably ahead.
Yeah.
Euro 2004, he was probably went to Man United 18 for big money. He had a inner belief in him that he thought, I'm the best player here. 100%, yeah. I knew the way he used to train. He was like 18, walking around the squad like he was 35, like he'd been there 30 years. I was still at it, find my feet, getting old people. He had a presence. He was a man. Yeah, he had definitely a belief that I'm the best player here.
Really?
And I think that's what made him as good as he was. Oh, yeah, 1,000,000%.
Do you think it's important? You see players, don't you, and someone goes, he's a bit arrogant. Is it important to have that bit of arrogance in business and life to sort of reach a top level of something, you think?
Yeah, I just think it's the way you show it, isn't it? I think Rooney wasn't an arrogant person, but he had a belief of him on the football pitch, I'm the best player. Gerrard had that, probably thought he was, but whereas Ronaldo would have to tell you maybe, or show it. Maybe that's his way of doing it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Messi looks that quiet type of, but 100% he has it in a belief that I'm the best player in the world. You can't be that good and that strong-minded if you don't think I'm the best, but some people like to tell you, some people do it in a quite different way, but it's what makes them probably at that level. They have it in a belief that they don't have bad games. Even when they are, they don't think they're having a bad game. Just all up here, isn't it?
So Gerrard for a few years sort of just carried that club to such a high level. He was just ridiculous, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Who's the best players you've played with?
In any club?
In all the clubs. So do what? A couple of midfielders, a couple of defenders, strikers.
Defenders. What's this? Woody on his day.
That good, yeah.
Right up there.
Really?
People obviously I'm biased, I'm Middlesbrough, he's my brother-in-law, but you speak to the neutral and they'll tell you Newcastle fans, if he was fit, he would still be at Real Madrid.
Really?
I don't mean now because he's 40 odd now, but he would have been there for 8-9 years, 1,000,000%. Even all the players knew that. You don't go from Real Madrid, do you, if you're not that good as a defender? They can buy anyone. They bought him. Rio Ferdinand was unbelievable.
Was he?
Unbelievable.
And they played together, didn't they, at Leeds?
Yeah. If Woody was fully fit and didn't have his injury problems and stuff, wherever, it would have been him and Ferdinand for England, 1,000,000%. John Terry was as good as he was. Woody was better, I think. He was quicker than him across the ground. I just think if you watch Rio and Woody play for Leeds, they complemented the way they played. Woody's defender, read the game very well, never goes to ground, which is a good sign of different people think, why is he always sliding? Because they're always probably in the wrong position. Good defenders are always there, and Rio was dead elegant when the ball could play. I'm not saying Woody couldn't play, but he was more of a different defender. They would have complemented 100%. There would have been the two.
Yeah. He played in front of Ashley Cole, didn't he? And Ashley Cole was the one player I ever seen.
Yeah.
Not this Ronaldo, but he did really good against him, didn't he? One of the most underrated players I've ever seen. I think.
One of the best performances I've seen, and it probably doesn't get highlighted, was that 2006 World Cup. Until Rooney gets sent off, he doesn't get a kick Ronaldo. Even in the Euros before, he just couldn't get round him, couldn't get past him. No, he just had a thing of Ashley Cole because he was quick, nimble. You know, he was hard to beat, even though he was only little and like slight. He was. I think Ronaldo struggled against him.
Yeah. Did he know that as well, Ashley Cole?
No, I don't think he knew. I think Ronaldo came out years after and said he was the best. But he generally went the other side. Did he? I'll get a Gary Neville. He's slow.
Yeah. Was Ashley Cole like confident? Was he vocal? No.
Very, very quiet.
Was he?
Very, very quiet.
Yeah.
Didn't say a lot. Very nice lad. Quiet.
Yeah.
Did it like unassuming, but probably had a belief that.
Really?
I think he must have went in that game thinking, I've had him before. I've got him. You must have that belief because every time you played against him, you just had him. And not many players can say that about Ronaldo, can they?
Yeah. So then midfielders, best midfielders?
Gerrard, 1,000,000%. Denied one that. He's the best probably player I played with.
Was he really?
Because I played with him when he was in that peak with England and stuff like that, seen it, and then I played him at the back end of his career when he was more of a sitter, and his passing and that was ridiculous. Yeah, he'd have to be the best midfield player. Played with all different types of midfielder. It depends what he was the best all-round player, but then Stanley Petrov was a good player. Milner had a really good year at Villa once. George Boateng was a really good player at Middlesbrough, underrated I thought. Yeah, he stands out as the best, right above it.
Yeah. Striker? Or strikers?
Strikers. Rooney was ridiculous, but I didn't play with him a lot. Even though I was in England squad, obviously I was on the bench a lot, but he was ridiculous from an eye watching. But playing with, I'd say, it'd have to be Suarez and Viduka.
Really?
Suarez and Viduka. Ridiculous. Suarez could do things that not many players could do, like how's he done that sort of thing. Viduka was, on his day, probably unplayable.
Was he really? Yeah.
Unplayable.
Good for you to play with, to bounce it off him.
Play it off him, bounce, but he was so relaxed, so laid back, and I think if he had that sort of, because he was that laid back, That's why he probably ended up being at Middlesbrough. He should have been at Real Madrid. Or,
should he?
Oh, he was unbelievable. You ask Woody and all them about him, like how hard he used to play against. Back to goal, 6'4", couldn't get the ball, but he was quick with his feet. And he was unbelievable, but he just didn't have that, probably. He was very laid back, didn't have that like probably drive like a Ronaldo or a Messi or something, but he was just, you know, probably didn't know who we were playing. No, he didn't. He was that laid back, but he was unbelievable.
Yeah. So with them players, Viduka aside, I think that's a bit of a one-off. I'm obsessed with, I think that talent and winners have similar sort of habits, patterns, characteristics. Did them guys train like they played? Did they live the right life? Were they good characters?
Yeah, a lot of them are like just sort of family men. Just, you know, people think, oh, they live this big life, and you know, I'm more like to say like the Liverpool lads. I think you look at Suarez and people like that. I mean, absolute lunatic on the pitch, wasn't he? He'd fight and scrap, and mentality to win was unbelievable. And then you take him away and he'd just go and be with his wife and kids. You wouldn't see him. Wouldn't do events. Wouldn't go anywhere. Wouldn't do players' parties or anything. No, just stay at home with my missus and my kids. And Coutinho, them type of people, just quiet lads. And yeah, just like, they're not what people think they are. Do you know what I mean? They're nice people, humble, very respectful, and I think you generally find that the higher you go, they're easier to manage, because no matter who the manages to them, they've got a goal, and their goal is to be the best, so they don't care who's in charge. They don't need telling. They've got to drive and they'll go, whereas you'll find the players who think they're that level and they're not, they're hard to manage because they've got egos that don't reflect probably their ability, if you get me.
Yeah, totally get you, yeah. They're probably trying to make up for that, aren't they?
Yeah, with this sort of, it used to frustrate me when I play with players and I'm thinking, like, who do you sort of think you are? Who do you to demand this, and this? When I've got lads who played at this level who didn't demand anything, just played. But that's sort of the modern game. I think the higher level you go, they're easier to manage.
Yeah, good. And then you're about managers. We talk about Allardyce. He said good man manager. O'Neill. Yeah. Dalglish. Who's the best managers you played with, and did they have similar traits? What made them so good?
I think the good managers I play for, the man management, just with people. Like, I always think, imagine managing a team with 25, 30 lads, 10 knocking on the door every day, why not playing? And it's harder to manage the players who are not playing than the ones who are playing, because they're right, they're playing, you sort of get on with them, but they have this, way of like getting people on board even though they're not playing, probably telling them they're going to play, not lying to them, being truthful. You know, sometimes players don't like the truth. They tell you they do, but they don't. You're not going to play because he's better than you. People say, oh, that's what I want, but they don't. Yeah. But they have a way of doing it, a way of delivering it, you know what I mean, and managing the group and people and keeping everyone on side so there's no bad eggs. And I think they're generally the best man, the O'Neills. Like I said, Big Sam was great for me, man management. Because I played a lot, Lee, with not a lot of confidence. It sounds a bit daft, that.
You did?
I played a lot on confidence. I was a confidence player, so even like when I came after Middlesbrough City and people were booing and that, I used to just affect you, do you know what I mean?
Did it really, yeah?
Brush only affect me because I thought if things I'm getting booed for weren't right. But you know, nice to be, you wouldn't go to a stadium getting booed, would you? You think I'm going to get best out of me.
Bullying, eh? Any other fucking industry in the world.
Yeah.
And some of the name calling, it's fucking vile.
Yeah. Like I said, I brushed it off, but like it's still a bit pissed off and it can hurt you a little bit. But he was like, he gave me loads of confidence, Big Sam. Go and play, go and do what you do, excite me. Like, and I'm thinking, you want to play for him, don't you? They make you. Kenny was the same. Do what you did at Villa because that's why I brought you. Yeah. They don't say a lot, but what they do, it makes sense. And it's just a confidence thing with people, because like I say, I was a confidence player. Yeah. Right throughout my career, right until the end, where you're managing yourself when you get older, you know what to do. But as you get older and you're younger, and you lose a bit of confidence, and playing as well. Who are these people you're looking to, and your managers? And generally, my better performances or better spells have been playing for them people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a trend.
People,
it's a trend. Definitely. Yeah. Why did you play well there but not so well there? Yeah. Well, look at the relationship I had with the manager, and look at the relationship I had with him. Gareth, even though he's a young manager, give me loads of confidence, good with people. You know, and then I'd say a Karanka situation, man management, non-zero for me. No affection, my performances weren't probably as great obviously as they were before. But there's got to be a trend. Yeah. You got to want to play for someone, they've got to give you that, inspire you, or obviously respect works both ways. I have to play well, but I just think that if you look at that trend, it's in any job, innit? Like if Nathan comes in and he doesn't get that bounce from you, he's thinking, I might not do the same job, but they work for you because they like working for you and they've got respect for each other. So,
do you think that? So when it comes to managing people, fitness, diet, formation, do you think the way you got treated and managed and your confidence was actually more important than other things? Then? Is confidence that big of a thing for elite level sports people?
Massive. I think it's pressure. they can overthink things. A lot of older, top players will see psychologists and stuff like that, get them driven because of all that pressure come with it, and people might just think, oh well, they're playing top clubs, they're getting paid a fortune, but they're going reputation, they want to be the best. How do I do it to be the best? And they'll do everything. But like you said, the confidence it'll come with. If you've got the confidence as a manager, you will be fit. You'll eat the right things, you'll do the right things. Sort of, if you don't have that affection with the manager, you might think, well, I'm not doing that because he's like me anyway. You sort of rebel, don't you? Not that I rebelled, but you know, like you won't do it with full authority like you would with a manager you had respect for. Like I say, a lot of lads don't like going to the gym, but Big Sam had to, we're in the gym lads Thursday, Friday, or whatever we play, they'll do it because they know he was good at managing people. Do you know what I mean? It's how, like, I always think delivery of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
delivery was a big thing.
Yeah, empathy's important, isn't it? How you speak to people.
Yeah, because if you talk down to people, generally, people, like, especially lads, who is he talking to? I'm not having that. It's like, he's no bigger than me or better than me. You speak to people how you would like to be spoken to. Doesn't matter who you are, what level. Speak to me properly, and then that's how the respect starts, I think.
Did you have any spells where you struggled with your mental health, Stu? The boo and whatever affected you to go for a spell where you were just struggling with yourself?
I think, looking back now, maybe I was probably down in the dumps. I think Middlesbrough at that time, the first spell back, when all that was going on, getting booed, and I'd go home and I'd be a bit moody, and that's not me really. I'm quite like happy and like outgoing. I try to be nice. Come home and I could just see. I look back at pictures even when I'm playing. I'm just look like I'm not even there. So maybe then it was affecting me, but all because I knew what was in the background going on. It was never going to stop, but that was obviously my decision. I decided to come back to Middlesbrough. I didn't have to, and I had to sort of get through it and live with it. But then once that relationship finished with that manager and a new one came in, I started to get better again. And my performance started to pick again. Like I said, there's no coincidence.
Yeah, of course.
You get on with managers, some you don't.
Yeah, of course. You're a married man now, children.
Yeah.
You're from a good family, you've got good people around you. How important family and your values to you? Yeah,
massive. Because they're the ones, like I said, who are there 24 hours a day all the time. They see you and lift you when you're in the bad times, the good times, they tell you when you're not good and when you are good. And that's what your family's about. Like I say, got a close family, very close. Mum, dad, like I say, Jonathan, Natalie, all the kids and all that. We have a close family. We've always been like that. And that's important to me. Like I say, we've got 2 kids, my wife, and that's a big thing for me. Especially now I'm not playing. Do you know what I mean? I spend obviously more time with them. They've had to sacrifice a lot for me, moving away, different towns, moving away from the family, the friends. So yeah, it's a little bit. I'm glad I can spend more time with them now. I'm retired, but like I said, family's massive. Yeah.
Superb. One tip for any young lads who want to go and make it as a footballer, what would you tell them?
Well, looking back, I'd have believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. Even you'll always get someone who'll say you might not be good enough or you not have this. You got to have self-belief. I know it's easy to say that, but you got to be like mentally strong and have that self-belief that you're a good player, you're a good in any job really, and just believe that you can do it because you can if you put your mind to it. Just don't listen to the background noise.
Superb. Listen, Stu, I'm so grateful for you coming on, mate.
No problem. Please.
Really, really deep, really intelligent. I've learned so much from you there, mate. Yeah. Superb. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, mate. It means a lot to me. Thank you, top man. Thanks for listening to the Little Bricks podcast with Stewart Downing. Wow, what a fucking episode. So thank you so much. God bless. Up the borough. Bye.